We are here today at the eBite Institute of ProMedica's eBite Institute, and joining me today is registered dietitian Chloe Plummer. Thanks for letting us come out and see what you do here. But we're talking today about some really cool cooking classes that you put on here at the eBite Institute. What are the cooking classes called?
So we're using the Cooking Matters curriculum, which is a program from Share Our Strength, a national organization that works to fight hunger across the country. So we're doing the Cooking Matters classes, which is a 6-week cooking course series. So participants get to come, they cook for 2 hours every week as a group, and then they come back for 6 consecutive weeks.
And the Cooking Matters curriculum is really awesome because you're teaching kind of what is my plate, what are the things that we should be eating, giving that nutrition information.
Yes. So I'm the nutrition instructor for the class, so they learn a lot about making healthy choices, how to prepare healthy meals, and then we also have a chef instructor that's teaching kind of the basic cooking skills so that participants feel really confident and comfortable cooking at home.
Well, that's the thing too, you kind of get in a rut of, oh, this is what I always make. So to get healthy, part of that is really, you have to learn how to kind of get comfortable in the kitchen making some of those healthy dishes. So this kind of has both those things.
Absolutely.
And in a great space, a really cool kitchen classroom space. I'm jealous of the space. It's very cool. So we're going to cook kind of something that you might learn in class today, kind of demonstrate for us. What are we going to be making today?
So we are making a black bean and vegetable quesadilla, one of the recipes from Cooking Matters. So we've got some great ingredients in here.
And this is a healthy dish.
It is. Yes.
So it's low in fat, it's got some fiber in it, it's got the vegetables, it's got kind of a nice representation of the things that you're teaching.
Yes, and it's a versatile recipe. You can swap in different vegetables that you like. You can kind of tailor it to what you enjoy, and anyone can love it. Kids, teens, adults, so it's a great recipe.
Awesome. So what do we have in terms of ingredients here? We have, to start out,
so of course we've got our shredded cheddar cheese. We've got some low-fat cheese. We have some whole wheat tortillas. We have some fresh zucchini, so we're getting lots of vegetables in here. We have some canned corn and some canned black beans, both no salt added, so healthier version.
And we were saying that's a really good thing that you teach, is how to read the labels.
Yes.
That is important. You think that you're getting something healthy or good for you, but then you turn it around and realize, oh, there is extra salt or extra sugar, and labels can be hard to read for people.
Yeah. So that's one of the big points that we go through, is feeling confident finding those healthy foods and reading the labels.
All right, so, and then we've got some vegetables in terms of our ingredients too. What have you got here for us?
We've got some spinach that we're gonna chop in our recipe, and then we also have some fresh cilantro, and for some flavor, we have some cayenne pepper.
Give it a little heat to it.
Yes.
Okay, so what are we going to do? We don't just throw this in the recipe. That's another thing too with fresh vegetables, like what is the best way to prepare them? So what are you going to do with this zucchini? And you start it and I'll keep going for you.
Okay, so with the zucchini, we're actually going to grate it today. So it's really fine and it cooks up really easily in this recipe. You could also chop it into small pieces if you'd prefer. So we're going to grate it today just as an easy way to mix in.
Okay. And this is true about zucchini. It's squishy, it's soft. It's not that hard to get it down to something that's really workable. I make those zoodles, right?
Yes.
It almost seems like pasta. Almost.
Yes, great way to add more veggies in. So that's what makes this recipe unique, is it does have a lot of vegetables, which a lot of us aren't getting enough in our day. So it's a great way to increase our vegetable intake.
And you did like 2 for this one.
Yes.
Okay. And I always say zucchini is something everybody can grow zucchini. If you can't grow anything else, you can grow zucchini. Trust me, I can't grow anything else. And I always have zucchini.
Yes.
All right, so you start. You've got this baby spinach, though. This is another thing.
Spinach.
You don't want to just have giant leaves. People.
Right.
That doesn't appeal to someone to have those giant leaves.
You don't want
like
a stringy piece of spinach coming out. So we're just going to really roughly chop this. It doesn't have to be small pieces, just roughly chop so you don't get long strings of spinach. Okay. So adding another vegetable in here to make it a little bit more nutritious.
And you can leave those stems in. I mean, that's the thing people, you think, what do I do with this? Or when you have, you can just leave them in there. It's totally fine. They're crunchy, they're good, but you just don't want big giant pieces. The best thing is to always have that just kind of bite size is nice. You don't want people to have like, a mouthful. It's like bite size is all you got to do. Doesn't have to be tiny.
And spinach, you add quite a bit of spinach in this recipe because it cooks down so much.
Okay.
So You can add it. It's more than you think you would need. I think the recipe calls for about 4 cups, but it cooks down so much that it's
Right, it does shrink. It really
yes,
does.
it shrinks a lot. So you can add a lot of spinach.
And then I can keep chopping for you. You tell me what
Okay.
you're doing there for the next ingredient
Next,
on The Price is Right.
we have our cilantro. I'm just going to grab another knife over here. And so cilantro is going to add some great flavor in this recipe without having to add extra salt. So we're trying to cut back on the salt and the sodium. So we're just going to chop our cilantro for some great flavor here.
And that's the nice thing too. You're going to be eliminating some of the things that maybe you don't want, extra salt, extra fat, extra sugar, but you're going to be adding these fresh herbs, which are going to just make all the difference.
So it's still very flavorful, enjoyable, but without all the added salt.
For sure. And then this does need to cook together. So you're gonna go to the next level here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So everything's gonna cook together over here in our pan. So let me.
And how high of a heat, more or less, do you kind of want that pan on?
So we want it on medium-high heat. It's gonna cook down pretty fast at this high of heat. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of canola oil so we don't burn the bottom of our pan.
Okay.
So about a tablespoon is enough.
Is there a particular oil that you recommend that is more healthy than another for people when you're learning the Cooking Matters class stuff?
So I use canola oil a lot because it's really versatile. It has kind of a mild flavor, but it's very healthy for you with the unsaturated fats. And it can be heated to high temperatures, which is really helpful when you're cooking things, maybe a stir fry or this recipe cooking over medium-high heat.
It's not going to smoke up your kitchen. That's the some people are like, ah!
Yes. So canola oil is a very versatile oil that you can use.
Okay. And so you heat that up. And you want a big pan because you're going to be putting all these ingredients in.
Exactly.
So once that is ready to go, show us the next step then. We more or less have things chopped. It's not perfect because, you know, it's a TV chop. It's a special kind. Okay, so what do you do?
We're going to go ahead and add our zucchini first. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Since we grated it, it's very fine. It's going to cook up really fast. So we don't need to cook it too long.
And that's really important. You don't want
to
too much with zucchini because it does. You don't want it to get overly mushy. You still want that little bit of a.
Exactly. So while this is cooking, I'm going to add in a little bit of cayenne pepper now. And you can obviously tailor based on how hot you want it, or you can leave it out if you don't like spicy at all.
Right.
So we're just going to
Or like you have to do half the pan for the other. All right. So
you can definitely do that.
That goes in there, and then kind of. Tell us what's next. All of it goes in there?
Yeah.
All the vegetables.
So
okay.
Once our zucchini cooks down for a minute, we're going to add our spinach.
Okay. Just add it. Pretend it's all cooked down.
We are going to we'll add our corn and our beans.
Okay.
And then we'll save our fresh cilantro for last.
Awesome. I am the assistant.
So we've got a cup of our no salt added corn.
Which is pretty because the color is important.
Yes, the bright colors really make it appetizing.
It's really true.
And then we have half a can of the no salt added black beans.
Okay.
So for this, you
So
just let it cook down.
And how long?
Really in total only about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how large your zucchini is cooked, maybe a little bit longer.
Okay. And we have it done here. So we want to show you what we have. It takes let's pretend 5 or 6 minutes have gone by and that's what it looks like. You can bring it over here back onto this tray or to this burner. Perfect.
So this is our finished one.
And you're going to take one of your, you've got your whole wheat wrap there.
Yes, we have a whole wheat tortilla.
Okay.
So.
Get that out of the way for you. Okay. So you put that in there.
We're going to cover half of our tortilla with our filler mixture.
Okay. And then you're going to use your cooking spray. You've got olive oil for this other pan, right?
We've got some cooking spray. We'll turn on this pan.
All right. And then wrap that up.
We got to also add
the cheese.
Can't forget the cheese.
Without the cheese.
For quesadilla.
I quit if we don't have the cheese. All right. And then you're going to put it in the pan just for a short amount of time, right?
Yep. So
while you're doing that and that's kind of cooking up, tell me again, how would we sign up for Cooking Matters?
So Cooking Matters, you can sign up through Market on the Green, the grocery store. You can sign up just right at the store. You can also email marketonthegreen@promedica.org if you're interested.
And you do it for 7 times throughout the year, so there's many opportunities.
Yes.
This is a couple of minutes. Do you flip it?
Yep, so we'll flip it after a couple minutes. It'll be nice and crisp and lightly browned on the outside, and then we'll be ready to enjoy.
It looks fantastic, and it's healthy, and if you're interested in signing up, it's real easy to do. That's this week's Healthy Downtown. I'm Rebecca Rainier.